Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. It is end of December and it is already time to start planting for our spring garden. This is part of my Grow Along series where I show you in real time what to do this week to get your garden back into shape. I am behind on many things, so I'm going to have some catch-up assignments for us as well as just our regular assignments. This week in our Grow Along series, we are going to be planting by direct sowing. So that's directly in the soil. Dead simple. We're gonna remove any weeds and any debris and just get a nice tilth to the soil, which is a fancy way of saying clean it up. Give it a good raking over, and then we're gonna start putting in a little trench for where we're gonna sow our carrots. Now in this bed, I'm planning on putting tomatoes here and here, with basil and carrots on each side, with a little walkway down the center. One of my favorite tricks for planting carrots is to use a stick, could be a bamboo stick, a PVC pipe. I'm just using some metal conduit that I had. Anything that you have that you can use to make a shallow impression in the soil is what you're looking for. All right, just set it down, give it a little squish, et voila. And now it's time to plant carrot seeds. This is a seed head from some carrots last year. You can see it's just loaded with seeds. And then this is how thinly you want to plant them. A few inches apart. And that can be really tedious to do. So I don't stress about it. I do my best. I do my best to get them sown thinly, but I don't beat myself up if I'm not perfect. My last trick for carrots is you do put a little soil on top, but they don't want much. They like very little, but that means they're likely to dry out. So what I do is pop a board on top. Every few days I come out and check this, and when they start to germinate, we take the board off. Simple as that. I am behind on getting my garlic and onions in. Garlic and onions both need a cold or a chilling period, which signals them to bulb up. I started the onions from seed mid-October, but in a few weeks there will be onion sets in the store. We can pick those up and just pop them in the ground. They'll do great. This is the garlic I grew last year. I grew this late. I planted this probably mid-January, and you can see we got a pretty good harvest. I actually braided 4 of these. I have 3 left, and we're gonna use the biggest cloves. So I braided it with big ones on the bottom to small ones. You always wanna take the biggest one. So I'm just gonna take a couple of heads off. Now let's show you how to open these up. I got this garlic that I started last year. I just got grocery store garlic and planted that. I know it's frowned upon, but I just don't care about the rules. I'm gonna do what's in my budget and what I can get to. We're gonna keep the roots intact as much as we can. We're just gonna get the cloves off. Now I don't wanna take all the paper off, just enough that I can pop a bulb or a clove. Now this is your root end, and this pointy part needs to go up. This is ideal. These ones are too small. You're gonna get a lot of really small ones. The small ones will give you bulbs, but they'll be really small. The bigger the clove, the bigger the bulb. And see how the base is still intact with those almost root-like structures? And then this is not good because it has some kind of, it's moldy a little bit. It's soft and it's moldy. Oh, I made a trench. We want the trench to be about 1 to 2 inches deep. And then we're just gonna take the garlic, root side down, and then I plant them about 2.5 to 3 inches apart. And then just cover it. That's it. Easy as pie. These are onions that I sowed a few weeks ago, just plain old seeds. And so what I'm gonna do, you can see we've got roots out the side. That's a really good, healthy sign. And the name has disappeared in the sun. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop right out the bottom. Look at those healthy roots. White roots are healthy. If they turn brown, that means they're rotting. But now we're just gonna tease them apart. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a good one. 4, etc. To plant the onions, I'm digging a trench about 3 inches deep, mainly because that's how long my roots are. All right, now that we have a trench, all we're gonna do, I need it to be a little trenchier of a trench. That's better. All right. Love this knife. All right, we're just gonna take the onions and lay them out. The main thing is we're trying to get the roots to be covered and the bulb or the base to be above the ground. And you wanna space them so that they have room to grow. So I want my onions to be big, so that means I'm gonna put them this far apart. If I want it this big, I put it that far apart. If I only want them this big, then I put them that close together. It's really that simple. So I want big ones so I can store them. So I put them far. And then we just cover them up. All right, we got the carrots planted, and I was gonna sneak out real quick and get some lettuce and some spinach planted, but it's frozen. Look at this. I'm not sure you can see. Look at that. That was frozen right there. So I will put a list of seeds on the screen. You're gonna gather these for next time. We will sow these in some trays. If you haven't collected your seed starting supplies, gather those all together, and hopefully in just a few days, we'll get everything started for the rest of our early spring garden. This week's garden chores. If you haven't yet, go ahead and gather all your seed starting supplies, your trays, your inserts, your pots, labels, garden marker, and put it all in one place to make starting seeds easier. We're going to continue with our garden cleanup. I'm aiming for 15 minutes a day to try to have my garden ready to go end of February or about 2 weeks before my last frost date. Continue gathering leaves. Leaves are continuing to fall, and my neighbors are putting them out in trash bags. I'm picking them up because I want as many leaves as I can fit in my yard. Winter is a great time to do a shed clean out. My shed is messy and it's going to take some work to get it ready for spring. All right, guys, that's it for this week. If there's anything I can improve on, please leave it in the comments. If there's anything that was particularly helpful, please let me know. It helps me improve my video each time. I really want to create a community of gardeners where we help each other improve and learn, and we cheer for each other, and we help each other when we're struggling. Next week, we're gonna be starting a whole bunch of brassicas undercover, some leafy greens, and some herbs. So if you don't have those seeds yet, you're gonna wanna go pick those up. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thank you.